Hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Luke McCoffey, and today we're going to be reacting to Remember Ryan's World? His Parents Have Lost Everything by Ryan Pictures. And before we get into the video, I just need to, quickly show you something. Let me just... Don't talk to me. If you have low blood pressure, don't talk to me. Let's begin.
Ryan's World's parents amassed immense wealth running one of the biggest kids brands on the internet. But the success they'd built around their son eventually became harder to sustain, with collapsing views, vanished ad revenue, and a flopped multi-million...
Vanished ad revenue? Hold on. I don't make revenue. But, we're gonna have to talk, YouTube. We're gonna have to talk. Vanished? I mean, let's be honest. Ryan's World makes bank. Let's not sit here and pretend he doesn't.
$1 movie, standing as proof of how quickly it all unraveled. My name's Ryan, and in this video, we'll be looking at how Loan and Sean Kaji lost
link in the description to his video.
Everything because of their greed. Ryan Kaji's journey on YouTube began in 2015 when at just 3 years old, he told his mother that he wanted to be on the platform like other kids.
When I was 3, I was watching other people and I was like, why am I not on there? And I started my own YouTube channel.
At the time, he spent hours glued to channels like EvanTube HD and Hulian Maya, which were filled with videos of children playing with toys, especially Thomas the Tank Engine, which Ryan was completely obsessed with. Noticing his fascination, his parents decided to give him a chance, posting a simple video of his mother taking him to a toy store and filming him picking out a Lego train.
Oh, that looks cool. What is it?
It's a Lego choo-choo train.
A Lego choo-choo train?
Uh-huh.
Why do you want this?
Because I like it.
That video marked the beginning of a channel that would become one of the biggest kids brand on YouTube, but it wasn't until one particular upload about a giant Lightning McQueen surprise egg filled with over 100 Disney Cars toys that the channel truly exploded. The video
Before, he gets into that, y'all remember a time on YouTube where it was just Play-Doh eggs? It was like an egg encased egg, and then Play-Doh on top, and they would just peel it or cut it into it. That was really something. That was really something back in the day. What else was there back in the day? No, just a bunch of Play-Doh stuff.
eventually racked up over 1.2 billion views and
What?
1.5
I thought, he had a couple million. 1.2 billion views. You know how many songs have 1.2 billion views? A good, I don't know, 100, 200? A singular video. 1.2 billion views. And 1.5 million likes. With 40, okay. This guy's making bank.
5 million
This kid's making
likes,
bank.
turning him into a global phenomenon almost overnight. But notably enough, behind Ryan's meteoric rise were his parents, who, as the channel continued to grow, stopped treating it like a hobby and started running it like a business.
Yep.
They took things to an entirely
Hey, let's be honest. They saw that money coming in. They saw that money coming in. I would too.
different level.
Maybe. I don't know.
But when they started
Maybe?
negotiating brand deals on behalf of Ryan, securing partnerships with major retailers like Walmart and Target, which began stocking toys from his own product line across the US. Before long, his name was appearing on everything from his own
Ryan's
merchandise
World.
to Colgate toothpaste, and the
Colgate?
brand soon expanded into mobile apps and video
Damn.
games like Ryan's Rescue Squad.
They put a game out for 40 bucks, not 20 bucks. Not a small indie game of 10 bucks. Or, I don't know, 5. 40 bucks. They're moving like Nintendo out here.
Within just
No, Nintendo's worse. Let's be honest. Nintendo's worse. 80 or 100 bucks per game.
past 5 years, the channel had become one of the highest earning on the platform, topping YouTube's earning charts in
11
2018,
million in
2019,
1 year.
and 2020, which made Ryan the highest paid creator for 3 years in a row. By 2021, the family had earned over $1 billion, not just from ads, but from a growing empire of products built entirely around Ryan's name. As Ryan's channel continued to expand, his parents quit their jobs and launched Sunlight Entertainment,
I would too.
a full-fledged production company with over 20 employees, handling every aspect of the operation. But
One day, if everything goes alright, I'll have a plaque. A YouTube plaque. On that wall. I'm gonna put neon on the side of it. Make sure you see it. One of these
Did
days.
serious consequences.
I gotta keep
By
going.
hiring a massive team, Ryan's parents built an operation with enormous financial overhead. The channel now had to support dozens of salaries, benefits, and production costs, with everything resting on the shoulders of a single child. And that's not all. With an expanded workforce, even the family home had to evolve. Rooms were converted into professional sets, filled with cameras, lighting rigs, and toys, slowly turning Ryan's daily life from ordinary childhood into full-time content creation. At one point, the family was even running more than 10 channels simultaneously, producing up to 25 videos a week, ranging from pretend play and skits to science experiments, each one meticulously planned to maximize engagement. As a result, ordinary moments like eating breakfast and taking trips to the store were filmed and turned into content. And since Ryan was too young to make decisions, he became the foundation of a multi-million-dollar brand where his childhood and the business became inseparable. But as that global brand grew larger, the nature of Ryan's content quietly began to change. What had once been videos of a child
These eggs. This is what I'm talking about. These eggs. They used to cover it with Play-Doh, and there'll always be like things inside. You know, you can probably search for it.
playing with toys slowly shifted into something more structured, promoting specific products that his parents had been paid to feature.
Our cheeseburger is done. It hits slanted too. Do this, and then just wrap it up.
At the time, Ryan had no real way of understanding what was happening, because to him, they were just toys, things he was given to play with while his parents filmed his reactions. And the audience watching couldn't tell the difference either. Most of them were preschoolers, children far too young to recognize what product placement even is, let alone understand that a video might be designed to influence what they wanted their parents to buy. And on top of that, the promotions weren't labeled clearly. Instead, they were woven right
Hershey?
into the play, making it
Hey Hershey. Hey Hershey. 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 Let me get one. Let me get two of them. Let me get a stack. I'm just saying.
impossible to tell where the fun ended and the marketing began. From a child's perspective, Ryan felt relatable and familiar, so the products he touched automatically felt trustworthy too.
I used to have all that. Damn. I used to have that Mater right there. The big one? Can you see my mouse? Hold on. Oh, you can't. Okay. So for some weird reason, you can't see my mouse.
You can't go.
The far right.
Soon, this
big
pattern
one.
became harder to ignore, with parents beginning to point out how every video revolved around a new product, a toy reveal, or weirdly long ad.
I've never seen a 26-minute ad. I've seen a 15-minute one, but you know they're always skippable. 26 minutes, a whole hour is diabolical.
Took more drastic measures against the channel, going as far as banning their kids from watching it completely. Ryan was banned 6 months ago in my house. It gave my kids some weird expectations for life. He thought it was normal for kids to get multiple new toys every day, and I was a mean mom for not bringing him a toy every time I leave the house.
Okay,
Screw
let's get the-
Ryan's toy
you know what,
review.
let's-
Oh my god, I had to do the same thing recently. My kid was picking up trash habits and saying weird things, especially keep watching and don't forget to like and subscribe, WTF.
Hey, that's that marketing. That's how you get those subscribers and watch time.
The parents and adults in Ryan's world are horrible, always playing mean pranks on each other and doing ridiculously scripted challenges that teach literally no valuable life lessons.
Or
Unless
actually,
you think
like-
cheating to win is good, SMH. Being a single working mom is impossible without TV, not taking that away. I don't care what anyone says, but YouTube isn't coming back anytime soon, threw the whole app away. Even
Finally, a concerned parent getting their kid off of YouTube. Maybe they'll roll back that verification thing. I haven't done it because, you know, the fuck? You ain't getting my whatever. I am very serious. I am very damn serious. Look, I'm on Corey's channel. You know, I'm subscribed. Been subscribed for a long while. No way was I missing this. Resident Evil Requiem, Part 1. Look at this. Look at this. Let's play. Take a few minutes to verify your age. I am a grown-ass man. I am 21. I'm not doing this. There's no reason for this to be a thing. This shouldn't be a thing. This is stupid. Same thing on Jack's. Hold on. Jack. Look, which one was it? I know. I watched his videos way before they got. It was a part 4. I think it's part 4. Look, same thing. Not only that. Hold on. I can watch every other video here, right?
I'm a real honk.
Bad for someone's death story.
Like, I'm not saying this video should also get the strike or whatever the fuck they. I mean, you're slicing a man in half. What worse thing could be in this video than this video? I'm not saying that video should also get stricken with that, verification thing. But what the fuck, YouTube? Fix your shit or whatever you're gonna use it for.
Started pointing out that this crossed legal boundaries designed to protect young audience.
I can see it though. I can see how, obviously they're using Ryan for these. I just hit my mic for these products, so they sell more of the products, and the parents are probably getting a good bag out of it, a good 100,000, 200,000. I hope it's not like a good 20K. 20K is a lot. It's not. It's a lot, but. For my kid's influence, you gotta pay a lot. It's a premium. It has to be a good 120K.
In the United States, children's advertising is tightly regulated, with federal guidelines requiring sponsored.
Damn right. These advertisers don't give a single flying fuck about protecting the kids. It's straight for the kids. It's for the kids.
Content aimed at kids to be clearly disclosed and separated from entertainment. But Ryan's videos blurred that boundary almost completely, and critics argued that this was exploiting an audience too young to protect itself. Eventually, the controversy reached regulators. The Federal Trade Commission, which enforces truth in advertising rules in the US, took notice, along with the agencies responsible for enforcing COPPA, a law designed to protect children online and limit how companies target them. Under mounting pressure, Ryan's parents rebranded the channel, changing the name from Ryan Toys Review to Ryan's World. The new branding made it seem like the channel was moving away from constant toy promotion, emphasizing learning and
the government finally did something.
family-friendly content. But in reality, almost nothing changed, making the rebrand feel more like a PR move than a real
I'm not one to. I told myself, if I'm gonna do this, I ever get a brand deal, I'm not gonna get brand deals at all, ever. But Hasbro, send me. What is this? Collector's edition? Obviously, this is a Transformer. I got both of them because I had to, and I didn't have any more money to get the other ones. Look at it. 40-year anniversary. I couldn't get Bumblebee. I didn't have the money. Look at it. In the box, collecting. Not trying to sell them, like scalp them. The hell? The last thing I'll ever be is a scalper.
And this is not an ordinary Transformers toy.
Yup.
Optimus Prime.
Let me get one.
Edition. Here.
At this point, the foundation of the empire Ryan's parents had built was starting to crack, and soon, those cracks would lead to investigations and rule changes that would permanently reshape the channel, marking the beginning of their deserved downfall. By 2019,
it's a kid, It's a kid. I don't think it deserves a downfall, but we'll see.
The spotlight on child-directed content on YouTube had reached a breaking point. However, Ryan's channel wasn't the only one blurring the line between
R.I.P. Toys R Us. I never bought nothing from y'all. R.I.P.
play and advertising. That year, the Federal Trade Commission, alongside the New York Attorney General, stepped in with one of the largest digital enforcement actions in history, fining Google and YouTube with a record-breaking $170 million penalty for allegedly collecting personal information from children without parental consent, violating the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Of that total, $136 million went to the FTC and $34 million to the New York York Attorney General's office, marking the largest COPPA settlement ever. But
Alright, that was a cash grab. Let's be honest, that was a cash grab.
the real issue was about YouTube's system, because the platform had been serving targeted ads on child-focused channels, going as far as using web cookies to follow viewers across the internet and deliver ads. Even though the platform knew channels like Ryan's were aimed at kids, it treated them like general users, bypassing parental consent and the legal safeguards designed to protect young audiences. The ruling forced massive changes to the platform as well. Comments were disabled on YouTube Kids videos, targeted ads were heavily restricted, and YouTube's recommendation algorithm shifted away from promoting preschool content so aggressively. For creators like Ryan's parents,
that's good.
who had built a business model around constant uploads and ad-driven revenue, the effects were devastating, with reports suggesting
Okay. You know, I can't talk about hair. You know, I can't. This guy's hair, the dad's hair looks so out of place. I don't know about you. It just looks so out of place. Like, I'm not trying to diss him or nothing, but it looks weird. Ooh, just looking at my eye.
and ad-driven revenue, the effects were devastating, with reports suggesting that they lost around 70% of their income almost overnight, triggering the beginning of their brand's financial decline.
FTC prohibited the target ads for the made for kids content from YouTube after a certain point. Target ad it takes the big role on the YouTube, and after that point, you know, that's the majority of the revenue, the ad revenue. So after that was taken out from the kids content, yeah, we lost revenue of 70%.
The FTC also required YouTube to implement systems that allowed creators to identify child-directed content and provide annual COPPA compliance training. Suddenly, channels that had been able to monetize preschool audiences freely were forced to operate under strict legal rules, where any misstep could have serious consequences. As if the FTC crackdown wasn't enough, another problem was quietly emerging. Ryan was getting older, and the little children who loved his toy boxings at 5 or 6 were now teenagers as well, spending most of their time on video games, social media, and hanging out with friends, all while
Ryan's gaming. Hold on. Ryan's reacts. Ryan's gaming. You know, you gotta keep the train going.
Was still opening toys meant for toddlers. For his peers, the magic was gone, as watching someone their own age play with toys that were meant for kids did not make sense.
Hold on. This is not meant for kids. This is for people like me. And only me.
Anymore. His voice is deeper than mine, dude. How is he still doing this? I always watched him as a little kid and was always jealous of what he did and the challenges. But now, I'm grateful I'm just a normal kid. And the numbers reflected that shift, because videos that used to pull in hundreds of millions of views now struggle to reach a few 100,000.
Ooh.
Engagement also slowed, and YouTube's recommendation system stopped pushing the channel the way it had before. But Ryan couldn't simply grow up along with his audience. His entire brand relied on him acting like a cheerful little kid, so letting Ryan change, explore new interests, or take a step back was a direct threat to the empire his parents had built. In the end, Ryan growing up signaled that the falloff had gotten to a point of no return. The brand his parents built wasn't designed to adapt, and once that image no longer matched reality, everything began to unravel, paving the way for the financial struggles that would soon follow. As views fell and revenue dried up, Ryan's parents leaned harder on the channel. Every video
this is an ad for Nintendo? So they did get a Nintendo ad.
Became essential to keep the money coming, and Ryan was expected to keep performing even as his interest disappeared. Acting as a child became his new job, and most importantly, the scale of the operation becomes staggering. Today, Ryan's main channel has over 3.5 thousand uploads, compared to other top creators like MrBeast, whose main channel has just 943. The sheer volume of content makes it painfully clear that for Ryan's parents, maintaining production had become more important than preserving their child's well-being or creative interest. The dynamic between Ryan and his parents became even clearer during a podcast appearance with John Uche, where although Ryan was technically the featured guest, his parents were the ones who did the majority of the talking. And whenever Ryan spoke, he would glance at them as if making sure that he didn't talk more than...
I don't like that. Hold on. He's gonna, I don't know, beat him when he gets home. But, you know,
another instance,
I can't speak for nothing.
He was asked if he would continue with YouTube when he grew up, to which he responded.
That's what I was going to try to hint towards. You know, would he do YouTube?
Saying, given your interest to be an animator and maybe go behind the camera, like as you get older?
I think I will keep
going for a while. Yeah.
Then, when
You saw that? You saw that?
asked if he enjoyed making content, he admitted that he had enjoyed it as a kid.
Do you ever
As
tell
a
your parents,
kid.
like, no, I want to be in more videos. I want to do more?
I think when I was a kid, I had lots of fun doing the videos, like with my sisters and with my parents. And I loved like making the videos because I got to like play with the toys.
A statement that revealed just how detached he had grown from the process. Ironically, his parents insisted in the same interview that they never forced him to do something he didn't want, yet Ryan
That's
still
a lie.
appears regularly in videos, proving just how far from the truth they were. But what shocked many was their next move, announcing a feature film starring Ryan himself. The project had an extravagant budget and was meant to push the brand beyond YouTube. But to critics, it was more proof that protecting the business now mattered more than Ryan's own happiness. Even his peers rooted for him, saying, "I'm 12 and he's 12 too, but he's being treated like he's never seen real love and life of a 12-year-old. Even if I'm not living the best life, I'm still happy with life to the fullest as I can, while he's just living a life of control and suffering. I'm sorry, Ryan. I hope you are okay."
Oh yeah, it's like, damn, I can't put that in words. I can't. How do I put that in words? It's like,
my balls are blue, but my dick is red. I've been jerking on my dong just to keep my family fed.
if that makes sense.
Kind of feel
That does not make sense. I'm gonna be honest with you. That makes zero sense.
bad because his parents are just using him instead of treating him like a human being. When the movie finally hit theaters, the result was a disaster, and not in a small recoverable way Ryan's parents might have hoped. Despite a reported $10 million budget and heavy promotion, the film earned barely $624,000, with many screenings almost completely empty, forcing theaters to quickly cut back on showtimes. I've noticed that my work theater and several other theaters in the area have cut showtimes for Ryan's World film, perhaps because resales are so poor. The reaction from audiences was just as brutal. Parents described the film as a horrible excuse for an animated motion picture, while others left harsh remarks like YouTube quality embarrassment straight to the theaters, and cash grab but fails to be a cash grab. Various YouTubers reacted as well, as Sunny V2 openly criticizing the opening scene where Ryan's mom does
Sunny V2, how old is this video again? It's 3 days old, huh? Okay. I think the movie came out a bit ago.
Tai Chi on a driveway before a giant blue egg suddenly lands.
The pivotal opening shot that sets the scene is absolutely awful. Who does yoga on a driveway? Then, without explanation, a giant blue egg lands right beside her, revealing not only a film crew in the garage's reflection,
And with a 1.
I know she's acting. I know it's a movie. It's a movie.
reveal
But imagine looking outside your window and you just see that. A grown woman dressed in a 60s gym goer's outfit running away in such hysterics.
revealing not only a film crew in the garage's reflection,
And with a 1.8 out of 10 IMDb score, it became one of the lowest rated
That's way higher than I thought. That's way higher than I thought.
films of the year, as even theater employees across multiple countries reported days with 0 ticket sales. In the end, what was intended as a grand expansion of the empire instead became a public humiliation. This left Ryan's parents with massive financial losses, a tarnished reputation, and a brand that could no longer sustain their empire. The golden age of Ryan Toys reviews was over, and the empire built on a 3-year-old's charm was falling harder than many expected. After years at the very top, the first real sign that something was wrong came from the numbers themselves. From 2018 to 2020, Ryan Kaji had dominated YouTube's earnings charts, holding the title of the highest paid creator in the world for 3 years straight. But by 2023, he had fallen all the way to number 17 on that same list, showing how much of his audience had moved on. It got even worse when the channel tried to adapt, replacing the simple toy unboxings with more age-appropriate content like gaming videos and educational challenges. On paper, it was a logical move. Ryan was growing up, so the content needed to grow up with him. But the audience didn't follow, even calling it cringe.
You know
Those
what-
new age
You know what I'm saying here? His parents are still in it. His parents need to completely get out of the frame and let him do him. Because you can still see it's all controlled, you know, everything's scripted. If he was just himself, and just his mind in the video, I think it'll do better. But hey, what do I know?
Age-appropriate uploads also struggled to gain traction, pulling in only a fraction of the views that his older videos once attracted effortlessly. His growth was also stalled, and the excitement they hoped to rekindle with his new uploads simply wasn't there anymore. His entire brand now looked like just another children's channel drifting through the algorithm, trying to stay relevant in a space that had already moved on. And since Ryan had grown, he started appearing less. Gradually, his twin sisters were featured more and more in the videos, first alongside him, then in leading roles of their own. Over time, the shift became impossible to ignore as the
You think they had the kid? I'm assuming they're twins, because, you know,
the brand was
oh, this is not. Because they look the same. And obviously they look the same. Because they look the same age. They look the same age. Do you think they had the kids to have the kids, or have the kids because he's getting older? That's my question.
Preparing for a future where Ryan was no longer the centerpiece, but instead of slowing production or letting...
I don't know why I'm stuttering a lot. You know, forgive me. Some of y'all probably like, clicked off the video. Whew, just gotta take a breather, you know?
The channel wind down naturally, his parents kept pushing, recycling, and reposting his old videos. They also set up long live streams to run on loop, replaying hours of Ryan's charming childhood content back to back. The same clips of him opening toys at 4 or 5 years old were repackaged again and again, attempting to squeeze...
Now thinking about it, do you get ads on live streams? I myself don't watch many live streams. I do go live. I went live today, earlier. I didn't get an ad, but do you get ads for live streams?
Out whatever ad revenue was still possible. At this point, the channel was no longer about creating new memories. Instead, it was clearly about monetizing old ones. As this was happening, commentary creators began to take notice. Videos analyzing the decline of Ryan's world started appearing across YouTube, breaking down the shrinking view counts, the fading relevance, and the uncomfortable reality of a child star who had outgrown the character that made him famous. What once felt like a wholesome success story was beginning to look like a warning, yet even then, the operation never fully stopped. Sponsors continued to appear in new uploads even as recently as a few months ago, which to many viewers it no longer looked like strategic growth, but desperation, a last attempt to keep money flowing from a brand that was already dead. As the channel moved forward with his sisters at the center, his place in the empire that carried his name slowly faded into the background. After the collapse of their YouTube dominance and the public failure of their movie, Loan and Sean Kaji quietly stepped away from the spotlight that once had defined.
That's what they needed to do 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Their lives. The same parents who used to appear in interviews talking about growth, brand deals, and Ryan's future slowly faded from public view, choosing instead to avoid media appearances and rarely speak about the direction of the channel at all. By 2021, the family had already moved from Texas to Honolulu, Hawaii, settling into a...
If you don't know, or if you do know, Hawaii is expensive. Moving there with all your stuff, or maybe they sold it and, you know, bought new stuff on the island, who knows, is... You're failing. Why are you... Huh? Maybe it was way before they started to fail.
We'll see. Home, far from the warehouses and studio spaces that once powered their daily operations. According to Kaji's parents, the decision was about finding privacy and stability even after years of living inside what critics described as a content factory.
You know, we were in a home for a long time during the COVID. We stay home and kids couldn't go to school. It was all remote work. In Hawaii, there's city life and there's also close to the nature. And there's a great private school in Hawaii too. I thought it would be a perfect match for Ryan.
Hawaii's the place. I'm gonna tell you. It's like wait, hold on. It's not the place. It's not the place. If you like ordering on Amazon, you know, it's not the place. It takes... I think they tax you a lot because they gotta ship it over. Now, and fly it over. So it's not the place. Never mind.
At the time, their home was less of a family space and
There's
more
a lot of downsides to living in Hawaii.
of a workplace, with strict filming schedules, rotating staff, and constant production blurring the line between business and everyday life. Because of that, they had no other option but to relocate. And yet, even though Ryan's World no longer dominates YouTube the way it once did, the business behind it never truly disappeared. Sunlight Entertainment, the production company the Kajis created during the channel's rise, is still active today, although its purpose has changed. The company now focuses on managing the massive library of old videos while gradually expanding content featuring his younger twin sisters, Emma and Kate, across different channels and projects.
So they're twins.
At the same time, the family's financial position remained far more stable than many people expected. While YouTube ad revenue dropped sharply after COPPA regulations and algorithm changes hurt kids' content, their earlier successes had actually secured something much more reliable. His brand had generated over $1 billion in lifetime retail sales, which created a foundation.
That's like what? 1 billion's a good. How many generations is that? I want to say 6 generations. If they're smart, can live comfortably on that
did not depend on daily views or trending videos. And because of that, their strategy slowly shifted. Instead of chasing viral growth, the focus turned to passive income, with old episodes licensed to international streaming platforms and existing toy and merchandise lines, which continued to sell year after year. In other words, the business stopped being about expansion and became about maintaining what was already built. Along with this change came a shift in how the Kajis presented themselves to the public. Rather than describing Ryan's World as a family project centered on their son, they began calling it a production company, which in many ways revealed how desperate they were to keep what was left of their collapsed empire. As of January 2026, Ryan Kaji is no longer the high-energy child star the internet grew up watching. He is now 14 years old, and his life has shifted into something far quieter and more private than the non-stop production schedule that defined his childhood. Today, Ryan still lives with his family, where he attends a private high school. Instead of spending his days surrounded by cameras, studio lights, or toys, his routine looks much more like that of a regular teenager, as he now spends time playing tennis, goes swimming, and skateboarding. Interests that reflect a kid finally getting space to explore who he is outside of a scripted role. And although the channel still carries his name, Ryan's involvement in the business is now limited. Officially, he is listed as a creative director at Sunlight Entertainment, which in practice means occasional voiceover work for his animated videos and brief appearances.
I think they should 100% pivot to animation, because one, Ryan doesn't have to appear as much. Maybe he goes in for a good 8 hours, you know, do voices, this, that, and the third, and they have what, a good 3 episodes, 4 episodes, just depending how long the videos are. A good 4 to 5 episodes of him already voice lines. I think they could do it. Mostly with YouTube Shorts, you know, make a 1 minute Ryan's World animation.
Challenges. To many longtime viewers, this quieter phase feels overdue. And now, for the first time, his life appears to be guided more by school schedules than upload schedules. But although that might be happening still, online discussions continue to speculate about what Ryan might do as he grows older. Some imagine he will walk away from the internet completely, while others believe that one day, when he is old enough to speak freely, he may choose to tell his side of the story. 10 years from now, Ryan is probably going to make a video to expose his parents who used him as clout.
I am gonna be mad if his parents, or annoyed, you know, mad or annoyed. I'm actually gonna react to this video right here. Remember Lily Tinney? His life is ruined now. I'm reacting to this eventually. Tomorrow maybe? I'm gonna be annoyed and mad if his parents completely scam him his like money. Like his whole childhood, he's been doing videos and stuff just for nothing. That's something to get mad about. Okay, let's hold on. It's really calming here. Thank you, Ryan, for talking about Ryan. You're welcome, Ryan. Older Ryan making a video of younger Ryan. That's crazy. The craziest part to me is how it completely missed the obvious. If the channel had grown and adapted with Ryan's age and interest and his audience, it could still be a powerhouse. The poor kid would probably still enjoy doing it. absolutely true. I like that. Now, thank you for joining me. Any final thoughts? No final thoughts. Hopefully Ryan, has his savings account well filled to the brim with money. That was Ryan Pictures with, remember, Ryan's World, his parents have lost everything. Thank you for joining me. This will be up today on the 18th. I'll try to make it today on the 18th. If not, early 19th. And maybe the Resident Evil Biohazard video will be up also on the 19th. Late 19th. Late in the day. With that said, thank you for joining me.